come on in. Let's go ahead and get settled down and welcome to my scrap room. I hope that you are in your scrap room with me today and you're getting some stuff done. So yes, welcome to my Wednesday, Workshop Wednesday. My name is Diane Gutierrez, and I'm from Diane Gutierrez Scrapbooking, and I'm also a Creative Memories advisor. I'm located in California, where today our weather is pretty mild. It's a beautiful day out. The clouds are burning off. It wasn't even that cloudy this morning when I was out walking, so it's great. But I did hear we have some extreme heat coming next week, so not really ready for that, but I guess I have to eventually accept that summer is coming, right? So let me know in the comments where you are from. We should be streaming both in live in YouTube and Facebook today, so I would really love to know where you're at as you're watching and maybe scrapping along today as well. So before I jump into our scrapbooking today, I just have one quick announcement really quickly. Here we go. And it's my next virtual class that's coming up, and I call it Make It With Me Monday. The series is always the same, it's just what we do is different, and this time we are going to be working with the advisor exclusive collection. It's called Flutter and Bloom. You see it there on the screen. It's beautiful papers. It's very springy yet welcoming summer at the same time, and I like to take those and I create 3 exclusive design concepts that we will work through during the class. But what I really love about that class is that I create the kit for you. So if you if you like that idea, I give you the paper and the embellishments, even the cardstock that we need for our projects. And I'm curating a separate little pack of embellishment kit that maybe has other little pieces in it that aren't in our Creative Memories embellishment pack, but some other things that I sometimes hand punch out and send those to you as well. So I like this class. It's super fun. I think that maybe you would enjoy it. So if you want to join us, I would love to have you, and it's going to be June 15th. And I do need you to register and pay the fee by June 8th. That's the best plan, because then you'll have the packet on time to scrap along with us. It is all recorded, so if you can't make that date, you can always follow along with the recording and the handout on your own time. And the cost does include the shipping. So that's my plug for my next class. So I hope that you look at that registration form. It has much more information on the registration form. Okay, and hello. Oh, we have Canada. It's beautiful. Oh, it's nice in Canada. Oh, that's good to hear. Yay. This is a good time of year, I bet, for you guys. And then Iowa's beautiful too. Okay, so we're all having great weather. That's a plus, right? No rain on our horizon, but it might be. And I'm hoping not, because I like rain, but if it goes from rain to heat the very next day or soon, my tomatoes are going to split wide open, and they are not ready for that change yet. So let's hope we don't have too much of an extreme. But okay, so today for our Workshop Wednesday, we are going to jump into our 12 months to memories sessions today. We are on session 11. Can you believe it? So if I have, let's see, my first one was a single page because that was the title page, and then I've done double page layout, so that would put us at 21 pages that we have in our album for this year. So hopefully if you're following along and playing along, your album is getting thicker and thicker like mine is. Next time we meet, we'll be at the halfway point, and I'm so excited about that. I'm going to give you a little flip through that day of where my album's at, maybe to inspire you to keep going, because we now have the rest of the year and even more busy time of year, right, coming up, that we want to get pages done. So I hope that you come back on that one, and I do have a special little plan for that day. And if you can't wait to go check out my events, I posted it last night. It has a little brief description of what we're going to do that day. So, but for today, we're going to talk about how do we get busy pages done. not busy pages. We don't want busy pages. We want simple pages. How do we get pages done in a busy season of life? So this month, I don't know how for you, but this month has been very busy trying to do, family things and business things at the same time. Gets kind of crazy busy. And how do we get scrapbooking done? Because even when we're busy, we still have that urge to get into our craft space and be creative. So I'm going to talk about how one way that I do that today and hopefully get this page done in, well, my thumbnail said 20 minutes. So I think it's doable. I think talking is going to maybe extend that a little bit, but otherwise it should come out pretty good and right on time, right on target. Because I feel like in these busy times, if we don't have a backup plan, then nothing gets done. And if you're like me, I have days where I run in, I have 15 minutes. I'm waiting for everybody to get ready because we're going to leave the house. I just want to get something done. And I just always want to know the next step that I need to do. Because I feel like that we can do a simple page quickly, and that's just as meaningful in our overall process of getting our albums done as it is with getting the pretty pages done. Now, not that this is not going to be pretty, it's just not going to take us a lot of time. I don't think every page in my album needs to take hours and hours. I don't have hours and hours to give, so I can't give it to just one page. I have to spread it out. I believe that a simple done page is better than that perfect page that isn't finished and is sitting in a box somewhere, another box somewhere else that needs to be done. So that's my theory, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to explain that through today to you. So hello, Karen. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking and get my page done so that we can get this one in our album as well. Okay, here we go. Let me get this a little more centered for you. Okay, so if you've had the opportunity to jump over to my blog, you can find it right here at DianeGutierrezScrapbooking.com and go to the blog, and should be one of the top posts, I'm assuming. And you can print off the handout. You have to scroll down. There's a button at the bottom, toward the bottom, that says download project or download handout, something like that. This is only the 11th time you think I would have that down. But anyway, this handout today, I'm going to talk about what I like to call my go-to designs. And that's a concept you haven't heard me talk about before. Jump over to YouTube. I have a playlist over there that talks a lot more in depth about my go-to design process. I have five go-to designs. When I press for time or I'm not sure which direction I want to take the photos, I always start with a go-to design. And those are my personal favorites. Your personal favorite designs might be completely different than mine, but those are just some options. And a little spoiler alert, I do have a new video coming out. Hopefully it'll be next week, where I'm going to introduce my next 3 go-to designs, because I've noticed I've been leaning into some newer ones. They're not going to be the same 5 I had before. It'll be new ones. So I'm excited about that. I hope that you guys enjoy that video. But you need to find what are the designs that you tend to do a lot and that you can do over and over easy. So go through your albums, and that's kind of how I noticed that my go-to designs, because I noticed in my album I always tended to go toward the same thing. Doesn't mean our albums are going to be boring or repetitive, because the great thing about the go-to designs are that you can change them up easier. Okay, we should be able to change it up. My go-to designs have a lot of room for photos. It kind of pulls the paper and the embellishments off to the sides a little bit, or tops and bottoms, out of the way of the photos. Like this sketch here. Now this is not my sketch. This is a Creative Memories sketch. It came from their virtual crop, and I'm sorry, I totally forgot to go back and find out which one it was from. But anyway, this is their sketch. I'm not going to take any credit for that, but it's one of my go-to designs. So I started noticing that, I'm seeing that same design that I love in other inspiration. And once you get going and you have that basic concept down of what your page is going to look like, then you can change it around, move the photos around, add embellishments. And I feel like my photos are kind of tell my story on my page, and more than the paper and the supplies that I'm pulling in. So that's why I love the idea of a go-to design. So this is the one we're going to use today, and it's what I like to call a 2/3, 1/3. And I bring in one piece of 12 by 12 inch paper, and basically cut off 4 inches. 4 inches, you'll see here, it's going to come to one side. The 8 inches will go to the other. Super simple cut. And that's the 8-inch piece would be the 2/3, and then the 4-inch piece over here would be the 1/3. In between here is going to be cardstock. I'm just going to build up on white today. I think it's going to really help my photos to pop, so I'm going to do white in here. And then this sketch kind of elevated the 2/3, 1/3 up a little bit by bringing in a strip back here. And for my strip, I'm going to bring in this little piece of scrap paper that I have. This will be somewhat of a graduation theme layout today, and so I'm going to put it right back here. What I would recommend, and what I'm going to do, is for the big paper, use a tonal print, something that's a little bit more muted. And then for my strip running in the middle, that's where I'll bring in my icon piece, or something that relates to the overall theme of my layout. So that's going to be that one. On the handout, you'll see I had you bring in 2 pieces of colored cardstock, because I didn't know really which direction you would want to go, or I wasn't 100% sure on where I would go. So the first color would just be for these dotted circles right here. This represents a border of some kind, a border punch out from a border punch or a border making cartridge, something right here, or a border sticker. So I don't have any tools today because I'm bringing in border stickers, and this is a great time for it. So I thought, why not? I love these ones. It's going to add a lot of interest to my page. So I'm going to do that today instead, and it will run right along here. The second piece of cardstock is meant for photo mats. Okay, there's 2 photo mats here and 1 here. It's going to help elevate the page a little bit, to give it a little bit more color, interest, and just help that pop a little bit more. So I brought in another piece of pattern paper instead of cardstock. So that's always kind of a switch I like to make, just to kind of change things up a little bit. Okay, so let me clean this up. So, well, hello everyone. I see you guys all in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, hello. Yeah, we're from all over today. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So do you guys have a favorite go-to design? Is that making sense? Do you have something you turn to all the time? Let me know. And then also I want to know is what slows you down when you're scrapbooking? Is it coming up with the idea of what am I going to do with this page, or what am I going to do with these photos, and how am I going to arrange them? Or, you know, maybe your go-to design is pulling from your scraps. I know people that do that beautifully. They just pull out their scraps and that's their go-to. Just use my scraps up. And I love that idea as well. That would be a go-to design for me. Okay, so there's I'm going to build on white today, like I said, and bring in my 12-inch piece of pattern paper. And let's go ahead and do that 2/3, 1/3. So I'm going to trim off 4 inches, 4 by 12. And I picked blue today because my son, these will be his 6th grade graduation or promotion, I guess they call it in 6th grade, right? And he's wearing blue. Here, I'll show you. He's wearing like light blue. So I loved this color. Was in my stash, found this color blue, and I was like, done, moving on, right? When you find your paper, move on and find something else. Yes, Karen, so picking out the paper is one of the hardest parts, right? Um, for me too, but it's also one of my favorite parts actually, because I love, kind of tying it all in together. But yes, so we're going to talk more about planning and prepping in next session when we're at our midway point. But yeah, thank you for mentioning that, because that is hard. So I tend to go into my photos when I'm looking for what I want to use. And since this series is all about pulling from our stash, I literally pulled out the blue folder and went through the other side. Oh, the other side was nice too, but not what I need for today. And I literally found this piece and thought, this one, I just couldn't, I looked at a couple more and then decided, no, I have to use this one. So this will be, like I said, a 6th grade promotion. So I didn't want it to be too heavy with the theme of graduation, because it's not like cap and gown graduation. I mean, they dressed up nicely. I think he tied a tie for the first time that day. So I don't want it to be overly heavy. So I had a scrap of this paper, and I was just looking at it like, oh no, can it go the other direction? And I think it can. And the black side would be fine too. But I do want a little hint that, hey, they called it graduation, they called it promotion. It was, there's not just one word that they use. So I thought just bringing a pop of this in down in that center where our sketch, suggested to, that would be perfect. Now, if you had a full piece of paper, basically you'd cut a 4-inch strip, one of those, and then put 8 inches, cut it again at 4 inches, and put the 8 on one side and the 4 on the other, like we did with this big piece. But I have a scrap, so I'm gonna have to make a couple cuts, but that's okay, because I'd rather use my scrap. So this is gonna be a 4-inch piece. I'm pretty sure I measured this beforehand, but let's make sure it's at least 8 inches. It is. Okay, because that would be shocking. Okay, so I need a 4-inch piece. And it's going to go this way, which I actually like, because I feel like those words congrats are bigger than the word graduate. And then I'm going to trim it down to 8 inches. And that's for that side. Now for the other side, I just need a little 4-inch cut. Perfect. I need a 4x4. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and adhere a little bit. So, because I'm going to be, of course, tweaking the sketch that I put up there for you. Because I'm all about making it work for your photos. Since I have photos for this, why not? Okay, this one's going to come right in the middle. And I'm going to bring it here about the 8-inch mark. And that way I'll have top and bottom will be all equal. So yes, I know my paper savers out there are thinking, but you're covering all that up. Yes, I am. I want to be quick today. If you have more time to spare, you can make strips. 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches. Your choice. And I want to get this done quickly. And there's no rush, really, right? It's just that if we have a little pocket of time, why not use it to our advantage? And again, this one will go at the 4 inches down. Like that. Okay. So far, that's our layout. That is my 2/3, 1/3, slightly elevated, which I love. It makes it different, right? So that if I have another 2/3, 1/3 page in my album, nobody's going to even notice. And trust me, nobody will notice, because it's going to be only you that knows that you have that little secret that you used a go-to design. Okay, let me bring in those border stickers, because that would be the next thing. If you're punching out a border to put right here and right here, then this is where you would want to punch it. But I'm going to bring in the stickers, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I believe I have a mix of graduation things. I believe this came out of like hats off, and then this one came out of you graduated. I'm not even sure. I just had a bunch of different things. I picked out a few. I feel like the stars kind of can go for a big graduation or a small one like this one. Okay, I'm gonna lay that down lightly. In fact, I'm gonna put a little powder on the edge because I might have to tuck in. I'm not really sure right there. So let me put a little powder just to keep it a little loose so I could tuck if I need to. Don't need a lot. So this layout's gonna hold 9 photos. That's quite a bit. And that's what I love about my having a go-to design. I try and keep them, my go-tos are the ones that are opened, that I could put any photos on. I don't even have to put 9. I could put less. If I wanted more, I'd have to use a peekaboo pocket, but I think this one makes great use of space and great use of materials. Okay. And over here, my stars are not directional because right now I'm going to be flipping my sketch a little different, or my layout a little different than what I had in the original sketch here. Okay, so if you like what I'm going to do and yours is directional, then maybe you want to hold off and see what we're going to do, because my photos, of course, these have 2 horizontal and then the rest are all vertical. And wouldn't you know it, I had the exact opposite. I had, like, I think most of mine are, let's see if I remember correctly, they had the 2 verticals. Yep, and the rest were all horizontal. So I kind of have to figure out a way to change that around. So what I'm going to do is flip it over. So I think I'm going to flip it like this. And are my congrats? It's not running the same way. See, should have thought of that. That's okay. I can probably fix that. And then this side, I think this one's still going the right way. Let's see if we go like this. Yeah, I'm going to have to come back in. I'm pretty sure I have one more piece of that and put it going the other direction. I'm so excited to get that done. It'll look like that. We'll fix that up. Won't even notice. Okay, so I'm flipping mine. I'm putting my 2/3 up here and my 1/3 down here. That way I could bring in the 2 vertical photos. See, with my photos on, I probably don't even need to change that background. And you can decide how you want these. Now, this is him walking down. It's not the greatest photo, and I typically might want to trim that one down, but I'm going to leave it full for now and then think about trimming it down because I want to focus in on him. And you see a lot of the parents there. And then the other one is nice and clear. Okay, then down at the bottom down here opens up some space for me to bring in some photos. So I have one here with him and his buddies. I will be trimming these down a little bit, so that's okay. This one I can trim down as well. It's a silhouette. So what they did was they took silhouette photos. They hand traced these, and I'm going to tell you how I know that because I did that for the entire 6th grade class. And we had like a big light, and then I did their silhouette, and then we cut them all out, and every student had one of those, and that's his. When he was in 6th grade, he was in love with this little fedora hat, and oh my goodness, my girls teased him about that, but he wore it every single day. And so in his silhouette, we left it in, and so he can always remember, and now he just realizes how crazy that was. But anyway, I'm thinking, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to go 5.5 by 3.5. Maybe I'm going to go a little bigger. 3 3/4. I do need to trim it, but I don't want to overdo it right now. We'll see if I need to do more. By 5 3/4. And tuck this under. I want a little bit of that white showing through. So anyway, this one I could even do more if I wanted to. But I have the space on my layout, so why not? And I'm going to take a little off of each side. There we go. These I'm going to keep whole for now, and I'm going to bring in some mats for that by cutting that designer paper that we talked about. Okay, so that side is okay. Now on this side, let me move that over there and bring this back in one more time. Okay, so this side, we have, it's a mix of photos, but I think, yeah, these ones are all at the school. So we have his 3 6th grade teachers, and this is his main teacher who became a really good family friend. All my kids had her for 6th grade. So I want it like this. You see how nice and photo heavy that is? This is what I love about the 2/3, 1/3 is we can get a lot of photos. I do need to trim these down so that they can fit nicely, and I also want to see a little bit of that white cardstock popping through. So let me pull those back down, and we'll just take off a little bit. So let's see. Let's take it off of this side. Again, I think I'll make them the same that I did over here. So 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. And a little bit dark here on this photo, but that's okay. Let's see, 3 3/4. So how are you guys doing with your albums? Are they coming along? I know that some people are just taking the layouts and making random layouts in all sorts of albums, which is fine. I think that's a great plan as well. No, not that one, this one. And we'll take it off of this end. There we go. Well, I have my trimmer out. I'm going to trim this one down, and I think I'm going to kind of go along with somewhat of what the sketch has here, except I think I'm going to make it 3 by 4. I like that size, and I think this is a perfect photo. They went a little smaller than that on the sketch, but I think that's going to work better for me. 3, and bring it out a little bit. 3 by 4. Let me clean this up a little. Yeah, that's cute. He wasn't one to dress up often, so when I see him dressed up like that, it's like, oh, that's cute. Okay. Switch the, yeah, I could actually switch those two around. I have enough of this here, and then I could bring that down. Yep, I used repo on that, so I will take a look at that. I think this is going to get so covered up, I might not even matter. Like I said, I just wanted that little pop of something in there that kind of said it was a graduation, so to speak. Okay. Okay, I like it. I like it because it's very uniform. And I had all those, actually I think I might switch some of these around. Let's see. I might do like the teachers up here, move her over here, a little close up of her, and then family shots over here. There we go. And then this one will come down here. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. Might have to trim it a little bit more, because what I want to do is also bring my journaling area right over here. So I pulled out this one. It's another graduation. I believe it's from Hats Off, but it's just a card. But I'm going to cut it out, and I'm just going to get this part. But I do want a little of the yellow because I think it's going to help to bring in some of the colors that I have here. So I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 inch away from the design. It should be a fairly easy one to fussy cut. This little round edge might be the hardest. If it's not perfect, I'm okay with that. I think, I'm hoping, am I right on here? about today that people are going to read that more than to see if my 1/8 inch is even. I just don't want it to be distracting, basically. Okay. And bring this down, and I'm going to put this right over here. Let's tuck that one under. And I kind of want it off the paper a little so that we could see this. I am going to have to trim this one down. Let's see. He has a little bit of room above his head. And maybe just a little bit off the bottom. Let's see, we're at 3.5. Yeah. There we go. And maybe I'll put it at an angle or something fun like that. Hi, Christine. Thank you. Okay. There we go. Oh, I am feeling really good about this layout. So the only other photos I want to come back to are these two, because I do want to put some mats using this paper here. And I'm wondering if I want to double mat them. Since I have some time and I already have some mats cut out, I cut out a bunch of white ones out of my old mat pack cards. And let's see, I made some that are 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 and others that are 6 1/2. Yeah, this one's 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to try that. So that means the yellow paper, I want it to be 6 1/2 by 4 1/2. So let's do 6 1/2. Again, this came right out of my my stash. I actually kind of like the backside too because of all the other blue, and it's like a lighter blue, but I really want this gold to pop. They didn't really have cool school colors there. I think if anything it would have just been blue. They had like some blue eagle or something, I don't but it wasn't something. Oh, their t-shirts were always blue, that's right. Okay, they're school shirts. Okay, and let's do that. Yeah, I like it. Gives that double matte look and super simple. So yeah, I just made a bunch of white ones so that I could always just reach and grab them if I, speed up that process. Have them ready. I like it. And you see a lot of that congrats paper in the back doesn't even show up. The part that does show up is the part that's upside down. So maybe I would just have to scoot that up a little bit. I think we'll be okay. I knew I was going to turn it, but oops, wrong side. I kind of want this one as he's walking in to kind of be like the first photo. And then this one closer to the other after photos where we're kind of talking. I'm tucking this in here. I wasn't doing that at first, but I kind of like it down tucked in underneath that border sticker. So it'll look something like that. I'll get all that adhered down and fuss with that off camera a little bit more. Okay, so I'm ready to do some embellishing, and you'll see on our sketch, I liked where they embellished. They embellished right up here and down here, and then again over here. Now remember, I turned mine, so I would be embellishing down here. Another place I would maybe consider, I don't think I'm going to do today, is right here in the center of this kind of grid that I made over here. And you'll see like all of those corners, that would be a perfect place to put a little embellishment cluster, because there's nothing really in those photos that I would miss if it got hidden. Okay, so for my title, I had this in my stash. It said good times. I thought that's appropriate for him ending his elementary school days. I think all my kids enjoyed elementary school. And so I kind of thought that was appropriate. And I already have congrats and stuff. And and right now I'm looking, oh yeah, I was going to bring in some of these balloons and things on here. So bring that back. And then up here, I wanted to put it up on something. So I went into my focus items, and I found this blue. It's kind of like a little tag. It'll come off that paper. And I thought maybe put that there and then have the good times kind of running across here and into the paper, into the photo. That photo, that's okay because it's nothing important there that I want to see. So that would be good. And then I have this one old school cap, and I know it's not a graduation layout, but I thought, hey, I can get this out of my stash and get it on my layout. So I'm kind of thinking to peel it off and put it right here over the G. You know, just a little, another hint that it's a little graduation type of day. Nothing too extreme there. But I think that's all I'm going to do up there. Just let my title kind of do its thing and hang out up there. And I think I'm going to actually scoot all this over just a tad, because my second embellishment cluster, because I turned the page, would actually be right here. So here we are, and I turned the page this way basically, but now I'm moving my title up here. And so I'm going to bring another smaller embellishment cluster right down here. Okay, and so I have this. This was a little sticker I had in my stash. I'm not even sure, but I think, yeah, I need to fussy cut this really quickly. Just going to go around that ribbon, kind of quick. It's going to be a quick fussy cut. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just don't need this big block of a sticker. That's all. I like the sticker. It just says good luck. It has yellow. It's the yellow and the blue, but it does have some red. That's okay. Oops, there we go. And that should peel right off. It's one of those that kind of fell out, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to use it. There we go. Good luck. I wish him good luck in middle school at this point in his life, right? We know how that turned out. It turned out okay. So, but, you know, good luck to everything in your future. Okay, I like these balloons. I'm just wondering if I want to use that last one. I'm going to do something like this and tuck it in behind right there. I'm going to get a little bit of powder because I'm not ready to commit 100%. It's going to go there. I just want to get everything else adhered down and then have the final placement. The powder is my favorite. I use it all the time. Somebody asked me how many I've gone through, and believe it or not, this is my only one from Creative Memories. I've had others in the past, and I still have some of those too, but they're running low. But this one has lasted me a long time. I would open it and show you how much I have left, but it will spill everywhere. So yeah, I like that. It kind of trails up and gives me that nice, like, festive feel. And now I'm looking at that. I think I might want to put this up onto some foam. So let's grab that. And it looks like circles today. I need to get some more squares in here. Not that it matters. This is a perfect one for circles. There we go. And that way it kind of lifts up above those balloons. Yep, I like that. Then the only other place that I'm going to embellish is right down here on the journaling area. You guys know I do that. Can't really see that paper either. That's okay. Let's tuck it under. I liked it under. And I could scoot them apart a little bit. Have them touching just a tad. Okay, over here, I know I saw some things on here. I liked the books. The cupcake is it has just that little cap and this so proud. And I like, that's it. So let's see here. We'll start with the books. And the cupcake will go next. And then the so proud. Okay. And we'll do that. Stack them up here. And then the So Proud can maybe even come off to the side. The cupcake is not to scale with the books unless that is a giant cupcake, which would be very yummy. I'm sure he would not mind that. Okay, so that's my embellishing. You see, it's so simple. With another good thing about the go-to designs is that it kind of, pulls everything aside, and you have these little pockets of areas that you can do embellishing. You can even come over here. I could scoot everything over so it's a little more balanced. And then again, like we were talking about, right in here. So there's lots of room to get some of those favorite embellishments and those theme items, right? I didn't use a lot of theme here in the background, but here's where we can pull in some more of the theme items with the embellishments. Okay, last thing is I want to bring in some finishing touches. So I went to my focus items and found some dots. These are not enamel, they're like little puffy foamy dots. And I like the gold ones. So I need to decide. I'm going to probably put one up here. I don't think they're very sticky, so I'm probably okay. Oh, let's see where we want to go with these first. Let's put one right over here, and then maybe two. There's a total of 6 on here. So we'll do something like that. I like that. I think I'm going to bring this one over to the other side. Yep. There we go. That is my fast layout. I didn't time myself. I guess I should have, right? I should have timed it to see how long that took. I guess I can go back and check from the time I started the layout, cutting that paper, and kind of stopped talking. So I hope that you like that. I hope that you can get some pages done using this concept. Let me come on back. I love my go-to designs. I want you all to come up with your own go-to designs. I would love to know if you have a favorite go-to design that you always use, something that can help you get into that creative feeling quickly and get some pages done in your album. And don't be afraid to repeat, because like I said, the photos are telling my story more than my design concept in the back. And then I was thinking about this the other day with go-to designs. Like my husband and I were deciding where to go for dinner, and nobody likes that decision, right? And so, but we always tend to go to the same place, and it's repeatable, and it's yummy, and it's and it just kind of solves the problem, right? So I feel like the same thing when it comes to go-to designs. It's it's designed to be repeatable and turn out beautiful at the end. So sometimes we don't need just more time to scrapbook, we just need the correct system, right? So that's what I have for you today. Next week, we'll be doing a Scrap With Me session. We'll be back looking at the Lakeside Memories and doing a little more elevated layout than we did last week. And so I hope that you join me. And then in 2 weeks, then we'll be doing session 12, our halfway point in our 12 months to memories. Also, I wanted to mention for the summer, the rotation of our sessions will change a little bit. For example, I'm still going to have the 2 per month, and I think there was 1 month where there should have been 3, and there will be. I just have to space them out a little different. I have a couple trips and celebrations that I need to not be here for a live session of 12 months to memory. So for example, in June, our next one will be June 10th. And then we'll meet the very next week to do session 13, okay? And I'm gonna post this on my banner in Facebook so that you'll always know. So go check that. And I'll probably put a post on YouTube as well. And on my website under events, I have it posted there. So then it gets a little bit, I don't have all the dates memorized, but I know in June we'll still do 2. They'll just be back to back instead. And then I believe in July we're spaced out every 2 weeks. But July, August, and all the way through September, it's a slightly changed. So take a look at that, and I will keep you updated as possible. Okay, but until then, take care everybody, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.